I'd just like to give a couple of my own reflections on what's been behind this study and why it matters. The first is actually a thank you, because as well as those I've mentioned who have been actively putting the research together and conferring on recommendations, the evidence base, as people tell us, from which this report has been written is thanks to you. So many of the community, from libraries, from archives, from museums, from independent research organisations, from universities, some university senior leaders, some academics, early career researchers and funders. All of you have contributed through town halls, surveys, structured interviews, and other ways in which you have helped to shape the findings. And that gives us a really strong basis, I think, for the findings and for the recommendations, some of which have already been posted on the Research Libraries UK website. And you can get an early taste of those by following links that have been circulated through social media in order to have a look at the recommendations that have come forward so far. For me, the level of participation in this research really spoke about the appetite and sense of opportunity and possibility, and let's be honest, not yet always fully realised, to strengthen the role of research libraries and library staff as participants in the production of knowledge and in the research process and the making of new knowledge. We know that is at the heart of our practice in archives, museums and libraries, but it's important to be able to evidence that and to build on what we do already. As part of that study, we've therefore shared our experience. We've also shared challenges and barriers and opportunities, and together helped to shape the recommendations that we're going to hear more about. Now, these are designed to have a practical impact and really to help drive that ambition for libraries and, of course, always for excellent research in the arts and humanities. We know that libraries, archives, museums are labs for the humanities and the arts and many, many other subjects. We know that our staff support interdisciplinarity and research across many, many different subjects. And we know that arts and humanities is a profoundly important part of what we do. Libraries are people places, they're places for conversation, and they're places of collaboration. We're a long way from any concept of being a kind of a warehouse of books. We're places where challenge and inspiration should happen, and critical conversations. And that is born both of the services, collections and spaces that we provide online and on site, but most of all from the people and who we are and the conversations that we come into. Now, research is too often framed, particularly in the humanities, as the kind of the place of the kind of the lone scholar. But the truth is, it's often social and very often collaborative. And the participants who are touching, catalysing, shaping, influencing, and sometimes leading that research come in many, many different shapes and sizes and backgrounds, and not all of them have research as part of their formal contract. So this study has been a way to explore those different touch points and those different contributions. And I very much hope that what it leads to is a stronger seizing of those roles and that significant contribution and recognition for the role that library staff, archives, museums play in partnering and leading in research. And if I may, I also take heart this year from the findings of this report. We've been through so much disruption as a community, museums, libraries and archives. And it's been challenging to the research lives of those we work with, as well as in our own working and home lives. So I would urge us to take this report and recommendations as an opportunity to go forward and to see where we want to take our future after this very difficult time in framing, developing, and really building on the role of libraries, archives, and museums in research.